I can't remember if I showed you the answers or not, but here they are. Can't remember if I actually assigned the next page or not. No, I did not. I don't think I did, but a bunch of you got it done. Yes. Oh, you need everything. Okay. You're sensitive to course outline too? You have nothing. He has nothing. But she has a friend who cares. Okay, so course outline. Look through it. Yourself, your parents, or whatever I know is responsible for your life. The back page is 11. I want you to sign, and then to sign that says you understood my expectations. I want that letter back. Of course, I want the letter back. This is a tool for you to use as we go through the semester. This, chapter 1. Okay. Comments, questions, concerns on any of those? Going once, twice, thrice, sold. Okay. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of time because, again, this shouldn't take super long. I'm going to float around. Ms. Croissant's going to float around unless she's got something else to do. Just a little bit more review. I want you to take a look at this page and the next page. It's place value and a little bit more rounding practice. Some of you got it started on Friday. That's great. Some of you did not. Take a look at this page and the next. I want to put on some music and float around. It's a review. It's a continued review on identifying place value. So the first 16 questions are just tell me what place that digit, the underlined digit, is in. And then the rest of it's some more rounding practice. I'll give you 10, 15 minutes. For those of you who don't know how to read the hands on the clock, because that might be some of you, I'll tell you what I tell my child, when the big hand reaches the 2, we'll go over it. On your mark, get set, giver. And if you've got any questions for either Ms. Croissant or myself, let me know. Here we go. Here are the answers to the first chunk. If you've got something different, star it. And if you've got any questions, I will happily address them. But if you're not done, don't just copy in my answers. I do want you to take the time to wrestle with some of this stuff on your own. Otherwise, you're not going to learn this stuff, whether that's at lunchtime or not. Take a look at what I got. Compare it with what you got. Yes, sir. Yeah. Okay, I'll slide this down. Because again, you're not copying, you're just checking. You're comparing with what you got with what I got. There's the bottom, A through I. Compare what you got with what I got. Again, this is all just place value stuff. And remember, we went through the names for the place values on the first page of your notes. So you can refer to that. I mean, always refer back to the notes that I give you if you've got questions about stuff and I haven't gotten to you yet. Okay, the whole table of Clash players, you're comparing answers, yes? Okay, here we go. Next page. Here's the top chunk of questions. 18, 19, and 20. A through F, A through H, and A through H. Compare what you got with what I got. Yeah, I hope the top 6 are good because I'm going to slide this down. If you have questions on any of them, let me know. And again, don't just copy down the ones you haven't done yet. I want you to take the time to figure them out. You'll be able to reference my video to check your answers again later. Okay. Sliding down again. There's the bottom. Compare what you got with what I got. Yes, Mr. K. Goes to the 28th, the Wednesday. You see the Thursday, Friday learning enhancement. Yeah, so the exam that I was asking you about will be Tuesday, Wednesday. So it was as I predicted. Yes. You bet. Oh, it's there now? Okay. I wish everything was in the same spot. It would make things too easy. How many calendars do they want us to look at?
Well, they just want us to take the first 10 minutes of our days to figure out what we're doing.
But between the district calendar and the school calendar and the Panther app, they're different. Or they don't all have the same information. It's my favorite thing.
Mine too.
Okay. Comments, questions, concerns about anything. Is there anything mistakes happen? Like as you can see, I made some mistakes when I was going through the answer key here myself. Got some scribbled out answers. Is there anything anyone would like me to go over and explain or discuss? Yes, sir. Which question? Which ones are you talking about?
Where you round up and you just put like a 0 for like the point to be 4 to 5.
Like you're asking about putting, instead of 57.3, you add the zeros in there?
Yeah.
So the mathematical convention says that when you're on the decimal side of things, you only keep the number that you were asked to round to, and you do not include the zeros that may come after. Just on the decimal side of things. On the whole number side of things, you have to put the zeros up to where the decimal would sit. Does that answer your question? Okay. Okay. Going once, twice, thrice. Sold. If there's any questions, concerns, queries, conundrums, or consternations, come see me. Okay, flip the page. We're starting with a more review of things. Some of you are going to look at this and be like, easy, crank it out. That's great. I'm thrilled for you. Some of you are going to be like, what the heck is he talking about? Thrilled for you too. Let's do the things together. Okay, so I'm going to go through some expectations for some of the tools that we use in math. You're not going to get a calculator for the first unit and a half for sure. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to spend some time helping you guys flex some of the mental math stuff and work through some of the tools that I'm giving you here. So I've given you a 20 by 20 grid. I've given you a negative 40 to 40 number line. I'm going to show you how to use them. I'm sure you know how to use them, and that's great. Some of you might not, and that's fine too. That's what this is for. It's getting us all onto the same page. So I've got number lines. You've made number lines before, perhaps, depending on where you did earlier math portions of your career. What are the rules for drawing a number line or creating a number line? If you were going to teach me how to make a number line, what would be the important things you would want to tell me about creating a number line? Yeah. Use a ruler. Okay, so I've given you the line already. Ruler, check. The line is straight. What else? Yeah. Yes, there are. Where do we put how do you order the negatives and positives on a number line? Love it. Love it. Okay, so there's actually two things that you identified there that I'm going to separate out here. So first, number lines go left to right. Left to right is the first piece in here. You don't have to have the negatives every time. You might not even have a positive section, but the number line always goes left to right. The smallest or most negative numbers are on the left. The largest or most positive numbers, least negative, all of that is the same on the right-hand side. You read numbers like you read English. Left to right. And there was something else you said in there too. You said that if you're going to put a 0, the 0 goes right in the middle between the negatives and positives. I'm going to expand on that a little bit, and I'm going to say the language I'm going to use there is to say when you're creating the number line, what you want to do is pick and label, whichever one of you is getting those notifications on your phone, please silence your phone. Pick and label, and I'm going to call it a placeholder. Or an anchor. You can think of it as an anchor to center your number line, or at least give you context for your number line. Then after, so you've got this, the left to rightness of it, you've got an anchor or a placeholder for your number line. There's one more important thing that you want to take into account when you're making a number line. And before I ask you for what that is, we're going to use number lines for a bunch of different things. Today we're going to look at it for as a tool for mental addition and subtraction. We're also going to use it for ordering rational numbers. So I'm going to give you decimals, I'm going to give you fractions, I'm going to give you integers, and I want you to order those. We're going to use number lines for that. And then I'm going to ask you, I'll plot a number. It'll be a decimal or a fraction on a number line. And I'm going to ask you to identify what that number is. As you're trying to figure all of that out, what other instruction here for number lining is important? There. The spacing, absolutely. As Dea said, for those of you who may not have heard of what Dea said over there on the far side of the class, you want to make sure that your numbers are evenly spread out, or how you space them matters. Because if you don't take the time to space them properly, when you go back and look at it later, it can mess with the intuition that you've got here. So I've got 4 here that we're going to do together. If I'm going to place 5, and there are multiple right ways to do each one of these. If I'm going to place 5, 6, and 7 on a number line, following these instructions, actually the second instruction is the one that we want to do first. We want to pick and label a placeholder. What's the placeholder value you want to use for these 3 numbers? There are multiple acceptable answers to this. What is a number we can use to anchor our number line if I'm plotting 5, 6, and 7?
6.
Sure. We could use 6. If you're going to use 6, where are you probably going to put it on the number line? Right in the middle. You could absolutely use 6. If you put 6 right in the middle, then 5 and 7 are going to be the same distance on either side. If 5 goes there, 7 goes there, each one of those are 1 apart. They should be the same distance, and yes, it matters. Did 6 have to be the anchor value? No. My first block picked a different value. What other number do you think my other block could have picked? What's another number we like? If you're going to pick 10 on one side, then the other anchor value that people are often going to pick is 0. So you could have done this. I'll draw another straight line in here. My other class said 0, and they put it on the far left. They said, okay, if I'm going to label 5, 6, and 7, let's throw a 0 down here. Let's put 10 over there. If that's what they're going to do, then how do I place 5, 6, and 7 now? If I'm using 0 and 10 as my anchors. Yeah, Sam? 5 goes right in the middle. It's halfway between 0 and 10. So then this would become 5, and then we go up 6 and 7. Neither one of those is better. Both are totally acceptable. You just need to be comfortable picturing these values on your own, following these same rules. Okay, let's go 1 to the right. Let's do the -6, -3, -1. How are those going to get thrown down on a number line? Dea. Okay, well, no, be more specific than that. Don't just say 0 on one side. 0 on which side?
The right side.
Okay, you're putting 0 on the far right. Why are you putting 0 on the far right? Because all of these values are negative, which means they're to the left of 0. Good. Okay, cool. So you want to throw a 0 over here. Okay? So then how am I going to place out those these three values.
-1 would be really close to 0. So,
Okay, so there's my -1.
-3. You probably also write like -2. Make another placeholder.
Yeah, makes
-3.
You betcha.
Then you go -1.
Well, -5.
Or -5.
You betcha. So I don't have to put labels on these three tick marks. But Dea's absolutely right. I would put them in there to help me with my spacing. You bet. There's my 0. There's -1. An empty one for -2, -3, empty for -4, 5, and then 1 for 6. We're going more negative, so we're moving to the left. Absolutely. Let's go bottom left. How are we going to set that one up? Sure. You know what? Someone other than Dea. Dea will do all of it if we let him. Not that I don't appreciate that, Dea, but I want to give other students. William.
-10 on the left,
Sure, that's one way to think about it. What's the other way we could have thought about it? That's a totally acceptable way to do it, and probably the way I would have done it. There's another way, though. You could have tossed 0 right in the middle. Then your second step would have been probably to place the -10 and 10. Fantastic. And then, William, where are the other two values going to go? Yeah, halfway between. Between 0 and 10, right in the middle, we're going to get 5. And then halfway between 0 and -10, we're going to get -5. Spacing's important here. Absolutely. Very good. And then the last one. How are we going to place those? Yes, sir. Sure. We could put -21 just right in the middle. You do not have to start a number line at 0. In fact, if you did start at 0, you'd have so many little lines crammed really close together. It doesn't make a lot of sense to do that. You're making your life more miserable. If I put -21 right in the middle, then what am I going to do with the other two? Same distance on either side. Good. Which one's going to go left and which one's going to go right?
One swing right, and then swing 2 on the left.
-20 is going to go on the right. Very good. Because -20 is less negative than -21. And the more negative ones are going to go on the left. You betcha. -22 there. The details are important, which is why I'm going over this. So now we're gonna use this. The whole point of the number lines is to have something to use as a tool, whether you choose to use it in your head or the one that I've given you here. So for each one of the ones that we're going to do, I'm not going to ask you to redraw a number line. The number line that I've given you is sufficient. So how do we use a number line to talk about addition and subtraction? If you're adding, so like this first one here, if I have 2 plus 3, the only thing I've got a blank number line here. You're going to use this first value as your anchor value. Let's toss 2 right in the middle there. If I'm adding 3 to 2, yes, lots of you are sitting here saying already, this is painful, it's 5. Okay, that's great. How do I use a number line to show that? We'd hop. If I'm adding, I'm moving which way? Moving to the right. So I'm going to throw 1, 2, 3 tick marks to the right, and I can just count that out. Or you've got the number line already. You're starting at 2, and you're going to go over as many as you're adding. So we're going to go over 1, 2, 3. So I can label these 3, 4, 5. There's my answer. That is number line proof for why 2 plus 3 is 5. So if you're adding, it means you're moving to the right on a number line, and subtraction means that you're moving which way? To the left, you betcha. But that's boring. Why would I want to just add and subtract and move right and left when we're going to bring in the negative numbers as well? So, what about this? What if instead of adding, what if you add a negative? Adding a negative is the same as doing what? Adding a negative, is that what you were going to say too? Yes, because these guys are going to talk out. And that's fine. I welcome it, but I also want to hear from other people too. Adding a negative is the same thing as subtracting that value. And so if adding a negative is the same as subtraction, when you add the negative, you're actually going to move to the left. What about the other one? What if you are taking away or subtracting a negative? Yep. It's the same as addition. So because it's the same as addition, if you subtract the negative, you're not going to move left, you're going to move
Right.
to the right. So I've got 1 minus 4. 1's going to be your anchor. And if I'm taking away 4, I move which way? Boom. This many. You could draw it out, or you could use the number line I'm providing. If you're at 1 and you're moving to the left 4, you're going to end up at 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 3. If you're drawing the number line yourself, you're just going to create tick marks, 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, and now you label. 1 down to 0, down to -1, down to -2, down to -3. This then would become your answer. And that's how you use a number line to show this. If I gave you a bunch of things to add and subtract, there was 5 numbers here, you would just hop around left and right on the number line as many times as you would need to end up at your final spot. And I'm going to give you some of that to do today. So this is it. That's all we're going to do. Add and subtract. And for those of you who are cranking it out, I want you to don't rush ahead if you can prevent it. Make sure that in your head you can use the number line as a tool, because it's something that we're going to use a bunch of different times in a bunch of different ways that I want you to be comfortable with. So in the time that remains, I would like you to look at the next 3 pages. You've got about almost 25 minutes till the end of the block. I want to put the music back on. I'm going to float. Ms. Croissant's going to float. If there are questions, let me know. You do not have to redraw a number line every time. I'd like you to look at the bottom questions and keep going until you hit where it says multiplication here. Stop at that point. On your mark, get set, go. Let me know if you have questions. So we're clear, I want you to have up to and including this page done. And let me show you how to access my YouTube channel. So, if I'm still talking when the bell goes, I apologize, but take a second here. Look, it's my YouTube channel. Except that's not what you guys are... Actually, that is what you guys are going to see. So, you're going to go to YouTube. You're going to search my name, Stephen DeWeedoff, in the search bar. This page will show up. A list of search results will show up. I'm the only Stephen DeWeedoff there. That's the picture you're looking for. That's 11 years ago when I got married. There's a bunch of playlists here. It'll say 2025, 2026. This playlist is Semester 1 Math 9A. You guys are not Semester 1 Math 9A. You're Semester 1 Math 9B. So that's the playlist that you're looking for here. It's currently empty, so it doesn't show up. But it will be as soon as I load Friday's and today's videos. It'll be there. That's the playlist that you're looking for. Those are all the videos that you guys will, as you're missing class, or if you want to review something we talked about, or if you want to check the answers from the stuff that we did today, that's how you find me on YouTube. First name, just search Stephen DeWeedoff, that picture, playlists, and it'll be one of the first 4. It's always one of the first 4. Those are the only playlists that I do, are my class playlists. When the bell goes, you may also go have a super duper day. Welcome to week 2.